Guys, welcome back to another video. I guess this is an in real life video for the first time, but basically I just built this circuit board using Arduino, and it's a pretty cool like Simon Says game. So I'll go ahead and give you guys a little like preview right now using my little stylus here. So look, it's gonna do this little animation at the beginning. It's pretty cool. It was built out of just resistors, and then the wires are just hooked up like to the Arduino board, like in the correct logic. So the first one was yellow, so I'm gonna go ahead and click the yellow button here. And it's just Simon Says. It's a pretty simple game, but here we'll go ahead and click this and this. All right, now let's just see if we get it wrong. So we do this, and then this, and then this right here. Yeah, see, we're gonna get it wrong, and then it flashes. It's like a little like animation that I added. I don't even know if you would call it an animation, but yeah. So basically, these resistors are connected at the back, and those ground it, and then the rest of the wires go to the power supply, and then to the specific pins here on the Arduino, and then those pins are controlled in the code.
All right, so here we have the actual code here. And basically, this first part here, it just initializes the board. So it basically just makes the buttons and the LEDs connected to the actual Arduino like part on the actual circuit board in real life. Now we have here, this is just like making our variables, initializing our variables here. So this is just setting like the round equal to 0 at the very beginning. And the reason why we didn't start at round 1 is just because of how indexing works with arrays in coding. Basically, element number 1, if you have a list of numbers or a list of whatever, element number 1 is actually index 0. So that's why that's like that. Then basically I just made a sequence of 100. So this basically means that you can theoretically get 100, like I guess round 100. That's like the max level, but like no one's ever going to memorize 100 things in a row. So I just made it really high just for no reason. Then also I made one for the input. So this is the sequence. This is what the correct answer is, and then input is what you're actually inputting, and this is another list. So then now here I created a Boolean. This is basically just can either be true or false, and this is for the chose. And so this just basically represents, oh, did you choose your thing yet? Like, did you choose your order yet, or are you still in the process of figuring it out? Basically, that's what it is. And then this is just initializing all the button states, so just making sure that they're all like up and they're not actually being pressed. And then this is just right here is just setting the win equal to true. So this basically just means that we can still win theoretically. That's why I made the word win, but it could have been any variable name. I just said basically the game is still active. And that is true. At the very beginning, the game is still active. So then once you get to the actual setup process here, it is just this entire block of code right here is just for the little intro sequences you guys saw. So it just turns the LEDs on and off, and then where is it here? Okay, yeah, so this is basically just starts the loop. So this is basically the game actually running. So that just happened at the very beginning. This is what actually the game is. So the entire thing is in one giant if and else statement. So it's just saying if the win is equal to false, then this little win animation plays here. But then if the win is not false, so if you're still can win, then the game actually runs. So this else here is what actually the game is. So I just started off here by making this button count equal to 0. The button count is basically just how much you click on a button. It's pretty easy stuff. And then basically as you just go through here, you basically just have the first section here, which is the like choosing the. And then the next section here is the like choosing route. So this is like the round, where you don't choose. This is like when choose equals false. So this is basically when you're still in the process of looking at the sequence. So when the game is flashing you the sequence. So basically it chooses a random number between 1 and 3, or sorry, between 0 and 3. And then it will basically these different parts here, these 4 if statements correspond to the different like outcomes. So if the number is 1, then the yellow button's going to play. If the number is 0, then the green button's going to play. If it's 2, red, 4, or 3, blue. Basically, that's all it says. And then after that, it's going to choose equal to true, because now it's your time to choose. So now it's while choose is true, this entire loop is going to run right here. And basically, this here is just going to get all the button states. from all the actual buttons in the circuit board. And then this is just going to be another bunch of if and else statements, just saying like if you choose the right button, then it's going to add that button to the inputs list that we had earlier, and also it's going to increase the button count. And then if that's not happening, then nothing's going to be happening. All the lights are going to be shut off. But then, like, let's just say you click the, where is it here? The yellow, or, yeah, okay, my bad. I got to change. This is just for, like, me, just for, like, decoding. This doesn't actually affect the actual code, this yellow press here. But basically, this is the red button right here. And let's just say you click the red button, then the that input is going to be added into the inputs list. It's going to increase the button count by 1 because you just clicked a button. And then, where is it here? It's going to just like wait a little bit, like 700 milliseconds, and then it's just going to turn the light off. So it's going to turn the light on and then off. That's all it does, really. Now, the reason why we were collecting like the inputs list, the reason why that was even, and also the button counts, is because this final little thing that happens here. So while the game is running this while loop, so while the choose section is equal to true, so while you're choosing, all this is running at the same time. So basically it's checking all that stuff, like if the buttons are clicked, and then also it's checking if the button count is equal to the rounds plus 1. So basically it's saying if you have clicked enough buttons to where that matches the actual round sequence. Because we start at round 0, I had to add this plus 1 here, but you could have just started the rounds at 1, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But if the button count is equal to the amount of rounds plus 1, then that means that you've chosen the maximum number of combinations, and then it's just going to go ahead and do this for loop here. It's just going to check if you actually did it right. So we have, this is just setting it so it's going to go through the entire sequence here using this little for loop, and it's going to see, oh, was your sequence matching the like your input sequence, does that match the actual sequence? So basically while J, so it's just going to go, J starts from 0 and then it goes less than or equal to the number of rounds, because that's the amount of elements that are going to be in the list for a given round. So if you're on round 2, obviously there's going to be 2 elements in the list, and that's going to be like element 0 and then element 1, and then if you're on like round 4, it's going to be element 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to go through that here. So this just checks if the input J is equal to the sequence, like J. So it's just going to see if it's the jth element is equal to the sequence's jth element, then it's going to say sequence equals sequence. And then it's going to go through the entire list. And if it's all good, then it's going to skip to the next part, which is just the rounds plus 1. This is just changing the round. It's going to make choose equal to false so that we can go back up to the sequence where we could see the actual the pattern, and then that's it. But let's just say you got it wrong. It's just going to say game over. It's going to set win equal to false, and when the win equals false, if you guys remember from the very beginning, where is it here? All the way up here, I think. Yeah, right here. While win is false, or so if win is false, then this whole thing is gonna happen here. So yeah, that's about it, guys. That's the code. I guess it's pretty cool. So